much you want to bet everyone thought we were going to let that go to 1?
Again, week after week and everything. So they should know by now, man.
Come on. We're not letting this go till 1.
Yes, sir.
Hey, brother man, what is the happening on your end of the world? Happy toy evening to you, sir.
Man, happy toy evening to you, brother. Hyped as hell tonight because there's some damn good pre-orders that we got, man. Fantastic.
There are some good pre-orders.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Marvel. We're going to talk about the Marvel Legends fan stream pre-orders.
Mm-hmm.
You just heard us talk about it. Yojo June. We're into week 3 for pre-orders, and then 2 competing Joe conventions seems a little weird, but we're going to get into it. So, if you know, you know, and you'll hang around, and we'll see you in a second. Wow. Welcome back to the show. My name is Chet Alex. It's actually Mac Daddy Chet. It's actually Mac Daddy today, according to Mr. Rad. Hey, really quick, just off the top, well, thank everyone for being in here. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. We could really use it. For every subscription you do, we donate a subscription to a foundation of your choice. And we appreciate it. And then, hey, we want to hear your word, and who knows, maybe you could show up on the show, but no one seems to believe us on that. So make sure you comment below, and we'll get to the point where you can possibly pop up. But another thing too is you want to subscribe, and then also look into like member perks, because there is a possibility that we may be releasing afterthought videos to members only on the YouTube channel. So anyways, much appreciated, but it doesn't look like you've hit the thumbs up button yet. So you probably do that. Also, you didn't hit subscribe. And with that being said, don't be a jerk, because the world loves you. Oh, my friend, where do we start?
Well, we start with saying hello, Tossie Station Emporium. How you doing tonight, brother? Let's start it off with the like they did this week, Marvel Legends.
Yeah,
they started off the week and everything. I know that we had a text chain that everybody else was going through, and everybody was hyped to see some of the figures.
Real quick, we don't have they didn't put any real photos up there. So while you're talking, I'm gonna try to get the video ready, and then we'll scroll through. So because people are watching visually on YouTube, they want to see.
Absolutely. So I think this was probably one of the better lines. This was the first time that I really wanted to purchase like almost every figure in the wave. Normally there's a couple of scragglers I don't get into.
Yeah.
But this one was like, this is almost an entire, it was the Strange Tales line, the Build-A-Figure line. And the Build-A-Figure is probably one that I think they haven't done since the Toy Biz days, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
The Blackheart.
Early Toy Biz.
Early.
I think it was 2000. Ooh, that might be super. Hold on, I need to look that up.
Yeah, well, I know that Toy Biz one wasn't even the same height as the one we're getting. This is a big Build-A-Figure, and they've been kind of doing that too. I think the last one was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Zabu, and then the other one was before that, I think Molten. So they've had some. What's going on, Rat? How you doing tonight? So it's just, when you're seeing the new waves, they're learning what to do with some of the Build-A-Figures and everything. They call it Strange Tales. I'm more or less saying that this is the closest thing I've seen to the Midnight Suns kind of line. If they were going to do a Midnight Suns, they're releasing some of those figures too. Like, I know the one that I was talking to Rad early in the day, we were talking about this, that Olden figure. was like fantastic, man.
Yeah.
As big as that figure, they are building bigger and bigger figures, man. Like, wow. Like, we're getting that. We got Scar before that, and then we got Hulkbuster before that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're again, it's a Hasbro. This we said it before. This is Hasbro's year. They keep hitting the great bangers, man. Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
agree
think.
with you. Cosmic accurate. You're absolutely right, man. Um, but it's just the amazing point. First of all, did you find the video or are you still having a hard time for it?
Yeah, no, I did, but I don't think that they did a Black Heart build
I
a
don't
figure.
think so. Well, I think there was one before. I don't it wasn't a build a figure, but I think they did a Blackheart standard figure in the
They
Toy
did a
Biz
Black
line.
Heart. Yeah, they did a Black Heart standard figure.
Hmm.
That was
Wasn't that what the one of the Ghost Rider films or something?
so that was when did they do that? They did that in 2006. And
Yeah.
that was you were building the Onslaught figure for that.
Oh, okay. Onslaught.
So, but they've never done the Black Heart uh
Absolutely.
figure.
Old Marvel Legends.
Yeah, 2006. No, yeah,
Hmm.
so I got the video up. We could go through it.
Yeah.
I don't have any audio. I don't think we need audio. I think
No, no, no.
we're way fucking
And
cooler.
it was
We're a lot funnier.
yeah.
Which is why we're announcing today Toybox Hasbro Labs. Uh, and that's where I don't know. I'm just making this shit up as we go, but I do live streaming Hasbro has labs with humor.
it
I mean,
it's devoid of that now, so we might as well give it to
crazy,
them.
man. And not the void like the build a figure. Which
Yes.
Rad informed me he had today, and I was a little pissed off.
Oh man, wow.
Anyways, all right, yeah, let's get into it. There's a lot we
All
got to
right.
talk about on this fan stream Hasbro Pulse.
Absolutely.
Let me get the video up on the
All
side,
right.
and then we'll put it on the screen, and we'll say, "Hey, I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm gonna get that one."
No, I don't know. I think this one's going to be hard to beat. I think this is an all line kind of hit. I think Rap was the only one. Oh my goodness! It was not the
It's
one of
Chad.
the best tutors on that we love and everything. What's going
Hey,
on? It's
what
Chad.
up, my friend?
Glad that you're on tonight, man. How's everything at the Dallas Fort Worth show? Awesome.
All right, here we go. We'll share this. Let's put it. We should be above, right? Like I think if we're no, this is good.
All right,
We're
this is
good here,
fine.
right?
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll get into. All right. What's your thoughts on this?
Uh I'm, look, I thought it was a great Marvel presentation,
Yeah.
special that they did for for it, but I'm not into the figure. I've seen Man Thing before. I think it's very accurate. It's just something. It's a pass for me on that one, man.
It's a pass for you on there.
Yeah, it's a pass,
Okay.
brother.
What's up? What's up, man? Happy you stopped by.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah. I'm debating. I like this. I like this figure.
Chad
Um.
goes. Hold on, it's Chad. Good so far. Got into it. Wanted to come on and listen to you guys unpack. Thank you so much, Chad, and everything else like that. We're gonna have Chad's gonna have to pop over one night and do the show, or we're gonna have to figure
Every,
out how we're gonna do that because he's
everyone
normally
eventually pops over.
yeah.
That's how our show
But
works.
thank you, sir. Appreciate the listen tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, like I said, again, while we just talked about Man Thing, I don't really, I'm not into Man Thing. I think it's a great figure though, sculpted well. It hits all the points. I love that new Marvel Legends packaging. It's everything. It's just I'm not into that character. So, and
Have you ever been into this character?
not really, not even through the comics through the days, no, man. Not really.
Yeah, it's a little weird, huh?
Yeah, well, it's strange, but it's kind of like it's Man Thing, Swamp Thing, and it's kind of like they're kind of competing. Yes, I know that you're into this one, man. The Cabal.
The Cabal is
Yes.
yeah. I think I'm just verifying that I do have it in my card. So keep talking.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on this one?
I like Doctor Doom, fantastic. Taskmaster, whenever they can bring Taskmaster out. The Norman Osborn was very interesting.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't expect that to be in the Cabal package. So, and I think everyone's saying that that's the weakest of the two, but it's like, when are we going to see that figure ever kind of represented you. Let's say that you don't like the
Which
figure in
one?
the first place. The Norman Osborn, the Iron Patriot.
Yeah.
Let's say you don't like that figure. You're getting two fantastic figures with it.
I
There's a great
mean,
value to it.
yeah, like look, I get Iron Patriot is kind of like the slow moving one, but the reason why I want this pack, and
Mhm.
I don't know, I don't know if they're going to do the Doctor Doom by itself, but that Doctor
Mhm.
Doom has the proper length, basically like skirt on,
Mhm.
and it's all soft goods, and I'm excited about. And the
Yes.
Taskmaster, they redid the
Mhm.
sculpt. It's like it's great.
Okay. And again, yeah, I think that well, anytime we get Doctor Doom, it always works itself out. Also, the flow. I think this is one of this was the week before last, and then there's the Strange Tale version of it.
Yeah,
And
this
yeah, that's the week before, but they did pop out the week before. This week they kind of ran into. I can just do a quick rundown of some of the characters. They had a Vampire Storm, which had great and fantastic sculpting to it. I thought all the characters were great. I think she has great highlights. They had two different faces, one of a standard one, and then one of the vampire look. And
Mhm.
then they had Dracula, which the Dracula looks like the same version that we're seeing right now in the Blood Hunt books. So he's got armored up. He's probably a little bit bigger than the other characters, not by much, but a little bit bigger. And then from there, of course, he had, you and I's number one very favorite character is Brother Voodoo, which can turn into Doctor
Oh, dude,
Voodoo.
you have no. Where is this? I'm just gonna get to this. What they did,
And then there's yeah, Hellstorm. They had a couple of great characters.
yeah, they had Hellstorm. We didn't talk much about, but Moon Knight is
Moon Knight.
fantastic. Moon
And
Knight's it's a
they
fan.
said that was the West Coast Avengers version. No, that's more of the classic Moon Knight. That's the one that when through the time of the late 80s and 90s, that's what kind of Moon Knight looked like in the comics. So, and I love the gold bands. I love the gold anklet braces. He had several different of his throwing spears and the moon spears. Those were fantastic.
Yeah,
There obviously, of course, is Brother Voodoo with his fantastic staff, man.
yep.
That's what makes it,
Which
you
by the
know.
way, I wanted to show this.
Okay,
So
what are you gonna
people
bring
don't
out?
know yet. This is
Mhm.
probably one of my all time favorite uh, comic book in general is Brother Voodoo, but
Yeah, I
this is
see.
the Book of Ashanti one.
Mhm.
But I don't have his staff yet, but I was excited to get this. But I love the eyes on it that are green.
Mhm.
And then I have the 2016 one as
Oh,
well.
okay. Mhm.
So I'm excited to get this, and I think we talked a little bit about it, but the whole Strange Tales line, like I
Mhm.
am purchasing because I do want that
Yes.
figure.
Mhm.
But there's not one in that line that I'll be disappointed in opening.
No, no. I think, like I said, they had Damon Hellstorm that was fantastic in the line. We just mentioned Moon Knight. That was definitely another one of the favorites. And again, Brother Voodoo is the main reason why I want the entire line because
We need to. All right, with everyone listening,
Mhm.
here's what we're gonna start doing. We should start doing um a like a bingo, or not like a bingo, but like let's do what if we did like some version of like a fantasy game with Marvel Legend releases, and when they have like a series like Strange Tales, everyone takes bets on which figure is going to be the most expensive out of the line.
Well, that's,
And then,
that's
and then we come back, because like there's been some figures where you think they're gonna like be super expensive, right?
Mhm.
Like in X-Men 97, everyone thought it was Wolverine until Rogue is
Yeah.
now like
Mhm.
140, right? 150
Well,
bucks.
you know
So
what we can do for that, Chet? We can actually put that up on our Instagram at the Shadow Nose Network, and we can put like maybe we'll put a poll or something. What do you think is going to be the most expensive figure or the
yeah,
most cost efficient figure as well that's coming out from the new Strange Tales Marvel Legend line? Because there are some, look, I've got to think that um, this strange Odyssey character out of that line might be Vampire Storm, because I think that normally whenever you see those characters, those are the kind of ones that kind of passed up. So I think if there's one character that might actually rise in price, because I'm sure, that might be the least ordered version of it. That might be that one. I love the I think it's called the Helverine or something. Yeah, where
Yeah.
it's like a Ghost Rider mix version. I like the flaming claws. Again, this like the Marvel Legends team has burnt it this year. They have everything they've touched. They have set on fire, and they're really kicking some butt.
Yeah.
So great characters, man.
No, there's not this is a little weird, but I get it.
Yeah. And then of course, we've Marvel Legends ourselves that you get to. Well, there you go, Blackheart itself. Now, look, a lot of people were telling me earlier today, they were hitting me up through Instagram and also through the on my phone. They were like, I don't know, man, he kind of looks plain. Like, look, he's
What do you think
Blackheart has a
is?
lot of accuracy, man. If you look at the hair, the sculpting in it, his size overall, it's a good builder figure. It's not
Yeah.
something that's going to be, out of the way. If you're into the whole Ghost Rider realm and all the rest of stuff, he works well with that. His first appearance, I believe, was in the issue of Daredevil. So, he fits in with, I think, the builder figure wave. You don't want something so accurate that or so completely detailed that it's like it's taking up too much of the packaging. This one
Yeah.
I think fits in extremely well with it. Same thing like the Zabu one. It just Zabu fit in the packaging better.
Yeah. Um
Want to shoot a
you
picture of
said
the
Daredevil. You said Daredevil, right?
yeah, there he
Yeah, it's
I think his
Daredevil.
first appearance
Yeah,
was in Daredevil.
Daredevil 270.
Yeah, you want to show a cosmic version of Odin for our buddy Mr. Rad?
Oh, you have no idea.
Wow, look at that
Look at
character.
how epic this is.
Yeah, great
I
character,
will
man.
dude, this will be one that I'll have that'll stand up next to Galactus. But
hmm
he's this is such a good figure. I know you could be like mixed between it and there's some like
Of course.
questions on it, but
Mhm.
I'm excited they did it. I'm
Well,
really excited they did it.
I give them credit. They had the different heads, which was or helmets that were fantastic with it. You can take off his mane and then also his cape and switch it around. They
Mhm.
gave him a lot of accessories, man. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hold
Look
on.
how thick those legs are.
He looks like the overkill body from Spawn. Yep, you're
Yes.
absolutely right. Irish Rocket. Great
He
name too, by the way, man.
Irish Rocket is rad.
Uh,
But yeah, look, I mean, and they even said that the box is wider, but they
mhm,
wanted to design it so that if you're in box collector, it looks good. Which I got to be honest with you, man.
mhm.
Like it takes a lot to design these toys. It takes a lot to do that. But a lot of people don't talk about the packaging.
That's
And like,
true. Well, no, they did talk about the packaging
no, I'm
when
saying
the
like just
packaging
so,
was
yeah, I'm saying like
when
just
it was closed packaging. But yeah, I think the new updated packaging is like you were saying. I think it's a much better improvement. I like the fact that they have extended the box open a little bit more because sometimes they'll cram it in kind of the same way it loses a little bit of aesthetics. So again, if you're some kind of in-box collector, which a lot of people are, you can keep it in a box. If you're not, then he's wonderful outside the box as well.
yeah,
All right, so the other big news was while we had Marvel Legends, of course, now here's the thing: G.I. Joe is near and dear to my heart, and this is my favorite month of the year, next to Christmas. So,
true.
the Classifieds brought it this week, man. Classifieds. Now we were waiting. This is some of the stuff. Look, some of the stuff they ordered was, or you could pre-order, was kind of a little. The one exception I have that kind of took me to the next level
Mhm.
was this Stinger was just the I believe the vamp was $79 if I'm mistaken. The Stinger was 99. And I kind of thought like, the blast effects and all the other things, they probably could have kept it at the $79 point because all you're really receiving is blast effects and some doors. And, while there's a lot of people that were really impressed, I just thought like, wow, the pricing was a little different. So
Yeah,
that's my only beef with it, but it looked great. They did a lot of detail. I love all the trim and everything they did with it. I love the
I think the driver
missiles.
looks good.
The driver is on point. It's not like the classic Joe version of it, the Stinger version of it, but it's a nice modern update to it. It looks nice. It'll sit on my shelf next to where it's starting to take up a whole bunch of room on these shelves. I got to get a couple more shelves, but I think that worked out extremely well. Sergeant Slaughter was the thing, the Matt Marauder version of Sergeant Slaughter. Uh, I wanted this the minute I saw him with the dumbbells and the actual sack, his duffel bag,
Yep.
because as a kid, I remember the first time I saw him was in the G.I. Joe television series Rise of Pintora Rise. And he not the same color wise, but he had the duffel bags. He held, this is Sergeant Slaughter, you
Yeah, this
know.
is epic.
Look, just to have him back into the line is just a blessing. And I know that ValaVerse did a very good version of him as well. But for the Joe fans, which again, Joe fans are ValaVerse fans. If you got to take it off, but I think it's nice to have him in both lines. It was something that I didn't think I would see again.
Yeah.
I'm only wishing now that if you brought Sergeant Slaughter back, can you bring the fridge back too? Can you can
Probably.
can you get me a classified version of the fridge that I know there's a lot of great sculptors. We got one in here right now that can do it, but I'd like to see Hasbro work it out. But I think the packaging is great. I think all the extra benefits are great. That's the one I was looking most forward to ordering. And it was not a Hasbro Pulse exclusive.
Yeah.
That was the best part of it. So if you wanted to order them from Amazon or any of the other fan toy retailers, he was readily available. It wasn't some sellout that you couldn't get a hold of. You were able to get that. The only exclusive was the Spirit and Low Life Mad or Low Light Mad Marauders, and that was just a Hasbro Post exclusive. I don't know if that's sold out because I'm not really big into the sublines. I just wanted Sergeant Slaughter for this one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not like a big GI Joe collector. I have some
Mhm.
that I want.
Yeah.
There's some that I want to get. This one you asked if I had pre-ordered it. I forgot, and then I pre-ordered it. Because,
And let's see, it Chad. Funny thing about the figure, Sarge himself let it slip last year at JoeFest that this figure was coming. Everybody in the room would either missed it or kept quiet. Now that is, hey, you gotta love Sarge, man. You gotta love him. And yeah, I wonder if the license. Well, you never know, man. I hope they are because I
yeah,
do. If the fridge can come back, he's look. As a kid, I remember, saving every dime I had to make sure I had enough flag points, just buying enough figures so I could get the fridge. Ordering the Sarge and ordering the fridge were like two of the biggest highlights. Like that as a kid you could do. You sent that in, and then you saw this great figure come in, and it just
yeah,
said, yeah, to let it slip and everything. Well, hey, the Sarge can do that though. You can let something like that slip. Let's see. It's like I saw the Sarge. Oh, last and it's in. All right, all right. Well, there.
it's
Let
good.
me tell you something. I have not seen the Sarge. Or every time he's at a convention or something. Usually, I'm working the floor or doing something else. But him and Larry Hama are the two people that in the Joes I would actually have them sign like my Joe packaging because I've got a Larry Hama figure sitting back there. This is one of the all-time influences of my life. But the Sergeant Slaughter is like you don't see too many real characters jump off and
No,
are like in your hand, and you can see a live representation of them. It's fantastic to have them back, man. But the highlight of the day, and I was not a huge fan of some of the Cobra Law figures when they initially came out,
yeah,
but the Nemesis Enforcer, which to me he'll always be Nemesis Immortal, but the Nemesis Enforcer, that packaging is, dare I say, almost like olden-ish. This is a huge character. The wings are fantastic. The look is fantastic. Like, again, I remember the original characters, and it was kind of blending the sublines because it went a little bit. G.I. Joe was a little ahead of their time. They went to the whole organic kind of mixture kind of thing.
Mhm.
But when you saw like this version, like how they're going to do this as a classified version, is it going to be like just a complete representation, or they kind of going to make it its own? I think they did that extremely well. I think they made the character its own.
Yeah, his wingspan's gonna be massive.
Oh yeah, like I said again, that's him, and if you have him and Olden on, they could take up a top shelf both of those characters themselves. But at least they're giving us bigger characters. Are going more into the GI Joe lore. I anything that we can get that is like highly detailed and brought to life, and it's
Mhm.
just a reimagine of the stuff,
Yeah.
because like I said, a lot of guys they purchase all of the old lines and everything. I love a lot of the vintage stuff, but also it's just sometimes hunting those down is a little tough. So I think the classified line is always one of those great representations of, if you got into the line late and you didn't have to do it, you were able to yes sir, yes, it's just an instant buy. You were able to really just like have something where you didn't have to go down and track it down a little bit. But and I've always heard this, there's always this kind of I while Joe fans are great, sometimes there's a level where it's a knock in the head.
Yeah.
And there's some people that's like, well, if you collect 3/4, then it's just 3/4. And there's if you collect 6 inch, and why is there a divide in that? If you love something and you love the 3 inch, 3 and 3/4 inch line, then that's what you collect. And
Yeah.
if you love the classified line, then that's what you collect. But it's like both lines are great. G.I. Joe's back. There was a time where he wasn't on the shelf and he wasn't represented. We have this character back. He's kicking live. They're doing new video games. They're doing a whole bunch of other great material. The comic books is fantastic. If you're not reading the Larry Hama Real American Hero or any of the Energon Universe stuff, like this is the best time for G.I. Joe. Just enjoy the stuff and be good
Yeah.
with one another, man. It's very easy, man. And that's going to lead us into our next. Yet that is he's a massive character, man. I can't wait to see what you do with that as a customizer, brother, because I know Nemesis is going to look real good once you get your hands on him. But that leads us into this weekend. This is There's two competing Joe conventions that's happening this weekend. There's the
Yeah.
JoeFest in Augusta, Georgia. And
Mhm.
then there's the Dallas Fort Worth Joe show and toy convention that's happening in I think it's Grapeville, or like let me make sure. I don't want to make sure that I think it's no, Grapevine, Texas. And here's what I don't understand. Number one, they're two great Joe events. um, I've been to Joe Fest once. I have not been to the Dallas Fort Worth show. And I know one of our buddies at the channel, Mr. Mo Plastic, he was going to head there because he wanted to go to the ValaVerse panel. Why
Yeah.
is there a separation? Why isn't the ValaVerse guys at the Joe Fest? Because it's a part of the lore, and I've always heard there's always a little tension from it. But like, I don't understand like why there's not a better embrace of it. Why does it have to be one or the other? You know, like I think that I love the competing conventions when they're competing. But if I want to go to a Joe convention, I want to go to a big Joe convention, and then if I have an opportunity to go the next week to one, and I want to see ValaVerse at any of the conventions that I go to, because I think they're an intricate part of GI Joe, whether grew up overseas or over here. And it's kind of a shame that they're not all at the one convention. Oh,
Well, I
wait a
think
minute. Chad had some information. He knows why. Well, Chad, please explain it to us, sir.
yeah, I don't I mean, it's rough, I guess, but I don't really
Well,
know,
could,
man.
could it be that before our buddy it's Chad who comes on, could it be that just Hasbro is just being completely dicks about this and just sort of really trying to push like another competitor out? Would they do the same thing to McFarlane if he was showing up and he did a line of stuff, because he's doing page punchers? So
Yeah, but I
you
think
know,
it's a little bit different though. I think it's all about conversations that happen behind the scenes between ValVerse and Hasbro.
I'm sure, but I can tell you, look, equally wise. I just started getting into Some of the ValaVerse. I know also my little buddy Plastic Collects is into the same thing too, and they're great as their own. And actually, I'm at the point where now I think I'll be mixing both lines into one another because there's great figures that kind of go between both. And I know they're going to be presenting some exclusive figures at the Dallas Fort Worth show.
Mhm.
And it would have been just nice all under the same roof, everybody being able to celebrate G.I. Joe. And again, it's like I don't want to have to pick and choose the Joe shows I go
I
to. I
think
like to go to
it's the
all of
same.
them.
I think it's the same thing when you see a bunch of toy collectors having beef with each other over toys. It's like you do realize that at some point.
Has nothing to do with Hasbro. Hasbro won't even let the Joe team go to JoeFest. What kind of
That's so wild.
yeah, wow, man. Wow. That's come on. So it's the fan show. You don't have them pop up at the fan show.
Well, I mean, that's fair though because Hasbro wants to keep everything for Comic Con.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
but
You
I
can
think
do both, man. You can do both.
I don't think you can. I mean,
Okay,
you could.
you could.
I don't think you can.
All right, well, here's the thing. If you did the Joe Fest, you don't have to take anything exclusive. If
Yeah,
you
but they
want to
don't want.
save that, if you want to save that for San Diego Comic Con, that's fine. But to have a presence there, embrace the community it's in. Let's see, what Chad said? It has to do with Ed from the Joe Fest doing. Oh Jesus, the ValaVerse. Now exactly that's what I heard is that they seem like ValaVerse was very unwelcomed at the last event, and I'm like, it's Action Force. Why is they're not all in the same thing? And it says, and let's click this one. It's like, yeah, the Joe team is only allowed to do San Diego Comic Con. Well, that's again,
Well,
that seems like a great loss, man.
it
In one
is,
way or
but
another.
it is, but they also, I mean, you're ultimately it doesn't matter how big your private events are or like
Sure.
comparison,
Hmm.
you're not going to get as many eyes as you are at San Diego Comic Con. So, I think what San Diego Comic Con is like turning into now that Hall H is kind of like not a thing
Hmm.
is I think that it's really just turning into a place where you kind of get the feel of comics coming back, but then
Hmm.
also like toys, and there's this big surgence in toys. We've talked about this before, but
Yeah. Hmm.
the surgence in toys exists because we're all the age we are with a lot of money and can buy all the stuff we couldn't buy before.
Sure. Sure.
But they're not pricing it for up and coming collectors. And
Sure.
so
Sure.
I think when they think about it, if you put all your resources into San Diego Comic Con, all of your time, effort, whatever, it's
Mhm.
better than trying to figure out how to do a bunch of multiple ones individually. And um, I don't know.
Let's see what man, the Irish Rock and Super 7 usually releases exclusive G.I. Joe figures through some and hit or miss. I love their Ultimate Joes. Look, I think the more Joes that we get on the market is never a bad thing. I think Super 7 does a unique version of the Joes, especially some of the reacting versions. I'm
Yeah,
kind of not into Super 7's version of the Joes, but I appreciate it for being around.
yeah. I
Let's
think
see. It's Shad is supposed to kill Joe Con, which is Joe Fest predecessor. I did hear about that, and they have no interest in anything else. Again, having more people see the eyes of your characters, having your ambassadors out there is never a bad thing. It's like I don't understand these corporate people where they have these ideas of more eyes, more situations aren't good. It says, and you come it's a hugely corporate. Yeah, that we will give you. But Chad, the one thing that, like I said, that my man Mr. Maddox was saying, which is very true, the kind of like the leveling out of Hall H is a good thing for people that because I've went to Comic Con since I was 17 years old. And I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm pushing to the point where I've been there enough times to see the
you've only
evolution of
been there 4 years.
things. But it was very much about comics, and you used to go there. You could walk right up to creators, get something signed, and it was a very easy exchange. Then it got to the point.
It was very like community driven. Is
Yeah,
what I
and remember, you could pop up like right on that day, stand in a long line. It was a long line,
buy tickets.
and You buy a ticket, walk into the convention, is it? Then something happened, and it became like the ultimate place for people to push their own products. And corporations started taking over, and Hollywood started coming through, and he started exploding the Hall H's. And then it became days where you walked through that convention, and if you went on a Friday or a peak Saturday, it was miserable walking through that convention.
Yeah.
Because it was
Well,
like
it started. I think it started getting crazy when the MCU started blowing up.
I think so. I will give it to you.
Mm-hmm. That's all that's just what drove it. It was like, oh crap, it's comic related MCU. Then you had a lot of the other ones, like you had like off brands kind of doing their movies. But then you also had like that whole time, if you remember, where sci-fi took over.
I do remember that too.
All of like downtown. Then they had that. Then when FX was really big, and they had all of their shows that took over.
And then our boy, the Irish Rocket, says when Halle Berry showed, I was actually backstage when she popped in. And let me tell you something, there was no one in Comic-Con complained about that, because that was when it was like peak Halle Berry. She was absolutely mesmerized to see a person.
Swordfish Halle Berry.
Yeah, that was when she was mesmerizing, brother. She walked in, and every person there, I saw that. And Angelina Jolie, I remember, popped in one time too. And like everybody in the crowd was like, wow. That's when Comic-Con had kind of leveled themselves up, because it was one of those aspects where the stars were popping in.
Yeah.
But I think it's I think Hasbro does some things right. I think they do some things like Meek's got to take it always up to another level, doesn't he? Meek's always has to push it to the next level. I give him so yeah, that was well, this is a family friendly show, Meeks. I think that Comic-Con has some pluses. Look, I know they waited and they pushed off the HasLab. I wish they would have done it in Yojo June. I think that would have been better. I think the Cantina, if you couldn't get that thing by the 4th, you had no business popping in and having it done. You should have just probably not took the thunder of this Yojo June. There's a reason why they call it Yojo June, man. You had May the 4th be with you, and you couldn't get it done. And then to show up 30 days later with the same Cantina that we saw.
You also had Revenge of the 5th. And and they didn't have it then either.
Yeah, so but I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what the HasLab's going to be this year for G.I. Joe. We saw the Star Wars one, and I know it's not going to be a playset. And
it's going to be a playset, dude. It's going to be a G.I. Joe Battleground playset. And it's what you do is it's like a beachside, so you get this like looking water, and it comes in like a box, and then you dump the bag of sand in it, and it comes with these like Monopoly cutout houses that you put on the sand.
Let me tell you something.
And you get to build a trench war, and it has like a lot of like stuff. It's gonna be epic, dude.
If they did that, they'd be setting the Comic-Con on fire, bro. Can you imagine? They should almost do a presentation like that, something otherworldly, just that, and just be like, "Oh, we were joking with you,"
That'd be funny. And then magically, it also the Toxel Lab would be cool. They could put that on the backside of the Normandy. They're gonna call the place at Normandy. And it connects to the Cantina, so like you could go get a drink while the ships pull up into your sand barge.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do think that having the finally place that for Chuckles, very good, very good. I was rocking. Yeah, you're right. He was on the beach. You have him, and then the Crimson Twins team to pop on with the Baroness. That would be fantastic. There'd be a nice little diorama, but I think fans would still be up in an uproar.
You think they'd still buy that?
Well, I think there's let me tell you something. Yeah, there's some guys that I know are devoted to whatever Hasbro would put out, they would buy. Yeah, they would. There would be, but the overgrown majority would be disappointed. But there'd be some people would be like, "Oh, thank you." They would jump up and down. It's just like I know some buddies that are Motu fans, and I don't care what they did. If they made a Castle Grosskull with a moat and everything, they'd be the first one standing in line spending $800 for it. You know,
What kind of water you can use in the moat? You know
Like,
what's crazy is
Mattel should sell it.
yeah,
Mattel should sell water to you. You know,
talking about like HasLabs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You don't really hear a lot about Mattel Creations, but I remember
Mhm.
when we were at the Robo Toy Fest, we were walking
Yeah.
around, and I saw this guy that had the Unicron in the box,
Mhm.
and I wanted it, and then I walked over, and the price was $2,300
Wow.
for in-box HasLab Unicron, and then Chris and I looked it up while
Mhm.
we were standing there, and there's only one other HasLab that's more expensive than Unicron, and it's the Barge.
Oh yeah, but the
And it's
barge was epic.
2450 to $2,500 what it
Mhm.
averages.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I think we told you we saw it at Frankenstein's. The box is
yeah, you did. You told me that. Mhm.
ungodly.
Mhm.
It's like
Oh yeah. Wow.
it's ungodly. It's an ungodly sized box.
But also, you now the Unicron, I give credit to because that's that one you're a serious collector because that's taking up a crap ton of space. But
Yeah,
and same thing with the barge. But at least the barge is like for the 3 3/4 characters. Can
yeah.
you imagine if they ever did something that astronomical for a 6-inch character?
I
It'd
mean,
be
the box alone for the 3 3/4 is massive.
yeah, like
So if they were doing it 6 inch to scale,
it'd be incredible, man. And it'd be something that could never fit on retail. I can tell you that. That would have to be, a HasLab, but God knows. It's just like when we were talking about the Cat's Lair. There's no way they could have put that Cat's Lair on retail. No one was going to buy that retail, man.
no. Which
And a lot of
let's
people
be
didn't buy that too either.
Yeah, let's be real though. If they came out with like a 6 inch to scale flag for classifieds, you'd buy it.
Let me tell you something, brother. I can be real honest with you. I don't know
You don't
where
have
I
anywhere
have
to
to
put a
mortgage. I don't know where I would mortgage the money for that. And number the second thing is there's no place I would have to like literally move out the kitchen table, to get it
a
into the dining room. And then what
classified
would that be for?
dude, a classified
They'll
flag
never make
would
it. They should
would be
and
over 14 feet long.
and let me tell you something, they should never make it. There's a difference.
It should.
I'm a Joe fan. They should never make it. Look, one of the holy grails is the actual flag.
Yeah.
You know, if you did something to knock the value of that, and look, I've never owned the flag. I've only seen it, and everything. Never held it in my possession.
It was
But
$110 when it first came out, by the
I
way.
know it was, and look, I begged my mother for that. I begged her. She was like, "No." She was like, "You can take the bed out of my room. I'll just put the flag in there. I can sleep on the flag."
Yeah. I think the whole
But the one aspect of it is it's I think sometimes you can diminish uh something of nature. It's just like they redid Scratch. Super 7 did them. Look, it's while Super 7 did a nice job on the Scratch, it's nothing like seeing a Playmates version. So
yeah.
there's just some things that they just shouldn't do because you don't want like it to like somehow cheapen the experience of something from that age. There's a couple of things. There's certain movies they shouldn't recolor. There's certain things they just shouldn't do. You have to leave something original. That's one of those things. Now they could do something like maybe the battle platform or a couple other things. I think it's the technical platform, but they could do something like that. But I don't think that they should ever do the Terror Drone and the USS Flag. I don't think they should ever do that, man.
Okay, but you don't feel the same way about Fin Fang Foom?
No, here's the thing. That Marvel Legends is not no, because Fing Fang Fu is not of the size and the caliber of
That he
like,
needs to be.
because when you see Galactus and obviously, you got Galactus and Harold sitting behind you, it's impressive. When you see
Oh
the
yeah.
Sentinel, it's impressive.
When I'm let me just explain the mass to people that haven't actually held Galactus. When you hold Galactus and you try to pose him, it's literally like trying to move a toddler. Like his leg is like this big around. Like he is so massive that when I'm trying to pose him, I'm just like, I don't know if I'm breaking this, but it's literally like insane how big it is. which I'm excited about. Everyone when I told everyone I got Galactus,
Oh
it was
yeah,
like,
wow.
"Oh, you gonna open it?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna open that bitch." I opened that as soon as it got to my house. I opened it because I'm of the mindset that like, dude, this is my collection. Like, I want to enjoy it. The box art is epic. I'm keeping the box 1,000%. But seeing, and I know Chris has Galactus and Sentinel in box, and it's
Inbox.
great artwork and it looks
Yeah.
fantastic. But like my area is obviously set up for like out of box. So
Hey, and that's the one aspect I think, and I'll be honest with you. I know you had a lot to do with me going to, out of box
Mhm.
collecting, and also my buddy DJ Friction out there. Thank him very much. He talked to me. He's like, "Man, how are you enjoying this stuff? If it's sitting in a box, if it's sitting in storage or something, what's the value of enjoying it?" And I remember you pushed me, and I remember I went through that one weekend. I was like, "I don't care how long it's going to take this weekend."
you'll
Thank
be
God I
able to
didn't.
watch.
Thank God I didn't have a gig or anything writing for somebody or something. Then I would have been in a little trouble. But
Yeah.
I went and I took everything out of the box. And I remember also too. I remember Chris was like, "I can't believe you took everything out." Yeah, because how was I enjoying that?
Mhm.
So I got to give you credit. So when I see Galactus and the Herald sitting back there, I'm always like, "Wow, man, that it's impressive." You can't get that same thing from it being in a box. The box looks great,
Yeah.
but you just can't get that same kind of like awe when you see that character. And I think you got the one you put the Doom head on it, right?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
love the other like the Galactus head because it does light up.
Mhm.
And they did a great job at changing the mouth so it could be like a skull or he's
Mhm.
angry or whatever. I like it. But when you put the Doom head on it,
Mhm.
it's like it's like a whole nother level. Like his chest still glows, the
Mhm.
head doesn't, but like it's a whole nother like I couldn't put the original head back on because I was like, this just looks too good without it.
Yeah, it does. Again, when something's done right, it's done right. The Whenever I see the Galactus that's Toy Biz, that's great, and it's a really nice representation of it. But see, the newer version is just epic, man.
It's
I didn't
crazy.
think they would ever make a character that size.
I know. Well, it's crazy because if you collect Legends,
Hmm.
right? This is a Marvel Legends head.
Hmm.
This is just the head from it. And
Yeah,
for perspective,
yeah. There you go. Yeah,
this is 6 and this is his head.
yeah.
And
Probably
it's
the
just
same size as Olden, probably.
dude, I don't know, but I like yeah, it is there is I can see that what I would really want to do, to be completely honest with you,
Right? Makes.
is I want to get another Galactus and keep it in the box and pose Galactus in front of it.
Oh wow.
That
Well,
sounds
wait a minute.
dumb,
Wait a
but
minute. Wait a minute.
I already
Why
have
did you just actually have the box? Just do the
well, I
box. Why
have
you
it,
need
but it's
two?
because I would want one that's unopened just for potential resale value. But
It's like right there. Everything Hasbro's got it, man. Yeah,
well,
I know. I know.
this
It's like
head is like massive.
that's a flex. That's what it is. I know, Minx. Yeah, I'm not gonna even disagree with you. He's flexing big time. It's like I'll just take two. Galactuses.
Well, sometimes you just need two because one
Yeah,
doesn't work.
well, hey, do what you want, man. It's your money, your time. But a couple of things. We're getting ready to wrap because you know why we're getting ready to wrap, right, brother?
Yes, sir. Let's
Because
announce it.
after us, there is a sister show that we've been kind of kicking off with, and it's our good friends over at the Sorlac Digest podcast,
Which
and
hold
they
on, I think we might have something on that.
do we?
Maybe.
Viewers of the almighty Sarlacc Digest, Toybox Chronicles hopes that we will host honorably, but should any of you hit the
You guys got to watch the other one to see the whole thing.
Last week we had Darth Moocher on from the Sorlac Digest, and great guys. Just enjoy all their content. They're
It's great.
they're breaking down the Acolyte and everything because you heard our opinion of it.
Yeah,
We
because
leave it to the Star Wars people.
My breakdown would be like 2 sentences. So if you guys need some color, we're happy to join. But yeah, we're getting ready to wrap. We want to be respectful, give some time for everyone to take a bathroom break and head over and check them out, because it is definitely a. I mean, every time I watch it, it's just like a knowledge dump, to be completely honest.
Absolutely.
It's like when you think you know what you're talking about, and then someone else talks about it, and you're like, I probably sound stupid. And that's why I watch it.
Well, here's one thing we'll say is that I wish that we were popping in at the instead of JoeFest, the Dallas Fort Worth show, so we could see it's Chad, because very great guy. Like I said again, we love his content. We love that he won the fight. We're not even going to mention the fight, but he won. There was day one. Thank you. We were rooting for you. So it's nice to have him in. But if you're there, pop in to see those guys. Pop in to see the ValaVerse guys. They are G.I. Joe people. And Action Force is an integral part of G.I. Joe. There should be no separation. And also, yeah, Crooked Smell says the guys over at Sorlak do a great put on a great show. They do. And I will absolutely agree with you. So, and only thing else we have to say is that our sponsor, we've got to mention our sponsor, great sponsor, Entertainment Earth.
Yeah.
If you're looking to do your toy purchasing, there's a link in the description for Entertainment Earth. They are affiliated of us. And if you do, they got 10% off of all in-stock items. And if you buy $79 or more, you get free delivery. Great, because chances are, if you buy 2 or 3 figures, it's $80 anyways. So might as well save on that delivery fee.
The link is already in the description. You can go there. We've battle tested this, and we have probably one of the best links that you can use for saving money on Entertainment Earth. So
yeah, and we don't know how we did that. So,
yeah, just popped up. They gave it to us.
Just popped up. But great shows again. Pop over to the Sorlak Digest podcast channel on YouTube. Check them out. They're running again the Acolyte. I believe it's episode 4 that they're running down tonight. Could be wrong though, but I think it's episode 4. Great entertainment that you're gonna get. Look, if you haven't done it already, Chet, what should they be doing?
Oh, well, it's funny that you would ask that, because this month and next month only, subscribing is free to our channel. And we know that you love to watch and come in and talk and shoot the whatever. And we enjoy that, but it helps when you subscribe and thumbs up. And then also, comment below. And if you're into toy collecting or any kind of collecting, it could be cards, toys, whatever. We want to hear from you. So make sure that you're messaging us, because we're not lying when we say we'll have you on the cast, because we think it's important to keep it going. And just for clarity, starting in a few minutes, we have the Acolyte episode 4 breakdown, review, and reaction from the Sarlacc digest over there. So we appreciate you. We see you watching the videos. It's fantastic. This was just going to be like a how do we like it hobby, and it's kind of turning into something that I think we enjoy, and I'm happy that everyone else enjoys it. Lots of crazy stuff coming on the channel. Pay attention. We're not going to go over it. We typically go over it, but it's long-winded. You'll see it. It's all starting to pop up. Really excited about some new shorts that are coming out. Really excited about some new topics, new podcast, like just whatever you could think. We're coming out with it. So from all of us over here at Toybox Chronicles, we know you had fun, but we're taking off, and you guys could hang out. It's Chad. Fantastic having you here. Meeks, as always, you're here chatting and seeing what the hell's going on. But you know what? There's something really important that I actually want to say, but I'm going to hold off. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, all right. Thank you guys. We'll see you all next week. Same toy channel, same toy time. And then this Friday, we're going to be on live with the rest of the crew. So check it out. Mr. Storm, I will see you later.
Good night, sir.